This is the first video I made for the channel. This may not be the first video you're seeing for the channel. But anyway, welcome to Wall Digital Media, and we talk about here video production, for commercial production, church production. I like to talk about music, I like to talk about collectibles and pop culture, and I really like to talk about Legos. So I thought I would do a Lego part of my channel where I'm going to build something, and I'm going to show you what I got. And I have been sitting on this for a while. The Daily Bugle finally came back in stock about 2 months ago, and I got it. And that's how long I've been sitting on this, because I've had so many projects going on with deadlines, and this was kind of going to be my reward for getting through all that. But then I kept putting it off because I really wanted this to be the first thing I built for the channel, and I didn't want to build it and then pretend later on that put it all back in the box and pretend to build it again. I wanted this to be really authentic, that this is when I built this. So it is 76178 is the Lego number. It's 18 plus, which is a plus for me, because hey, 18 plus, that means it's for adults, and it's okay if I buy Legos. But hey, there's plenty of adult fans of Lego called AFOL, I guess. There's plenty of Facebook groups and YouTube groups and things, so you know, there's no age limit for Lego. It's a good way to be creative for anything, and I find it very cathartic. And you know, if I get stressed out, I'll build a Lego set, unless it's the James Bond car. That was a stressful build. That's probably the least favorite build I've ever done for Lego, but that's neither here nor there. We're gonna dive into the Daily Bugle. So let's see, this is a very big box. Let's see how many bags there are. So it looks like there's bags and boxes. Well, there's number 11, so we know there's at least 11. There's 16. I'm just going to throw these in the floor next to me, because there are a lot of them. And like I say, this is the first video I'm making for the channel, so if you're watching this out of order from other videos, they're probably going to look a lot better, because I'm going to put a little more effort into my set here, which is my basement studio where I do my video editing and work. I've had my own production company now for 22 years. I'm doing this. Okay, 16 is still the largest bag number I've seen. 10, 14, 15, 14, let's see. Okay, and okay, now there's a box inside the box. Reminds me of an old Looney Tunes cartoon. Okay, so, whoa, you didn't see that? I'll edit that out. So, look at that, gorgeous packaging. I really enjoy packaging for products. Look at all those minifigures that this comes with. It's pretty wild. Okay, so let's get this huge box out of the way. And let's see here. Okay, let's open this box. I'm gonna assume, okay, here's all the smaller numbered bags. So I'm going to break this video up into many sections. Probably build a bag or two at a time. I'm excited about building this, I really am. Here's the base plate. We'll go ahead and put that down. And a very large instruction book. And lots of stickers. I'm dropping stuff here. 2 sticker sheets, in fact. Now, I've got a camera set up above too, so let's go ahead and switch to that. Here's the sticker sheets. And look at this huge, very big instruction book. So it's looking like close to 400 pages there. That looks cool too. Let's go and put these over here. So now I know I've kind of got this centered. Let's go back to the main camera. Oh, you always get these bags in these large sets that aren't numbered. They just kind of have random pieces in them. So 4, and then you also have several bags that have the same number because it's part of the same section of the build. Bag number 1, we have a number 1. Another number 4. There were several number 4s. And I tell you, one thing I always have to fight when I get a set is to open up all the bags with the minifigures first and just build the minifigures because I love the minifigures. All right, that is it. Looks like we have 2 bag number 1s, and look at this. Look at all these tile pieces in this one. And here's the other number 1. Looks like we already have a minifigure in here. Doesn't look like one of the heroes yet, but that's okay. So let's get going here. Let's go ahead and get. I always have a nice little write-up in these. Oh, that's nice write-ups on all the minifigures. That's cool. Now this set comes with a lot of minifigures. I grew up a comic fan, and so a lot of these minifigures mean a lot to me, and some don't mean as much to me. Let's go back to that center camera. Let's do a little picture-in-picture. Hey, how about that? It worked. Of course, Spider-Man. Like I've read comics from like 80. Well, I'll take that back. Late 70s, probably to about 87. Got out of them when they started doing all the crossover events where you just had to buy books you normally didn't buy to get the whole story, and kind of got out of that. In 87 I turned 16, started working. Comics wasn't, high on my priority list. Got into them again in the mid-90s with the Age of Apocalypse stuff, which I thought was cool because alternate timelines are cool and everything. And that's why I do like the Spider-Verse films with Miles Morales and that stuff. That's cool. But those will probably not be figures I display with this. Peter Porker. Wow. I remember there was a comic that came out in like 83. It had him and Captain Americat. And I want to say there was a Doctor Doom villain, maybe, but like a duck. I don't know. Kind of crazy. That's cool. It comes with a lot of newspapers. Very cool. Your basic instructions here. So, it looks like the first 3 bags are the bottom piece, and it's going to have some of the cooler minifigures. Oh, it looks like the first minifigure we're going to build is actually Aunt May. So that's neat. Aunt May is the first part of this build. And I saw her in this bag. Yeah, it's not always. I've done it my whole life. I've torn open Lego bags with my teeth. And still do it. And here we go. Probably shouldn't have put that on the plate like that, so let's move all that over. I'm not going to open this up. Drop my first piece. Be one of many that we drop during this build. Alright, so let's build Aunt May. Looks like she's got a plate of cookies, which is appropriate. This is traditional comic Aunt May and not the new Aunt May played by Marissa Tomei in the Spider-Man movie. So there you have it, Aunt May. And I don't know if it'll focus in good. I'll do some cutaway shots of these figures to stick in. I don't see her bag of cookies. Oh, here they are. They're in this separate bag. Again, to the teeth. And here we go. There's the plate. And there we go. How many? We got 2 of these to simulate the other cookies. There it is. A lot of people go ahead and separate stuff out by color and everything, and I've got to where I've done that a few times, but I kind of like just getting into it. All right, so there's Aunt May with her plate of cookies, very similar to Mrs. Santa Claus in a Christmas set. So let's we'll just put her right there. All right, I keep dumping stuff on the plate, and that's going to be an issue. And there goes piece number 2 on the floor. So we're now on drop piece number 2, and I don't know where that went, so we're going to take a brief pause and I'm going to go find that piece. Okay, so I found the piece. It was a very sneaky rolling piece, but we are back in business. All right, so the first thing we do, according to the instructions, and let's go back to the overhead, is we're going to take 4 of these tile. This is, I think, a 1x8, and it's going to go across the front. Probably something along the side. This is very similar to like one of the modular constructions, so that's cool. So, all right, now this is where we're going to get a lot of tile pieces going, and it's always fun when you have so many pieces that are the same color to deal with. So let's go ahead and carefully open these. Spread those out. Lots of cool tile pieces. And this is the last, I think, of the number 1 bags. We're going to go there. We'll go back to our picture-in-picture. All right, so looks like we've got 3 of these. Now, usually I will always make a mistake when building these on the modular buildings. Let's try not to do that today. And there's a piece with a stud that goes by the little, probably a little storm drain. And the rest of these are all 2x2 flats. I guess that's the term for them. That's what I call them, 2x2 flat tiles, smooth on top. All right, that's looking pretty good. All right, it looks like we pretty much do the exact same thing on the other side, except the piece with the stud is in a little bit different place. And this time we do 3 of these. And then the storm drain piece, which, there it is. All right, then we go to our smooths, 2x2s. The stud piece this time is going to go there. And just fill in with 4 more of these. This is the part of the build that it's very tedious, but I do enjoy this as well. Okay, now we're getting a little complex here, so let me put this over here where I don't have glare. So by the storm drain, we're gonna do one more, and then another. There's a lot going on in the texture here. Then let's see, these pieces, which are really interesting. It's amazing how many new pieces they've come out with in the last few years that did not exist when I was a Lego builder. And see, I've already messed up. I put one too many of those over. Glad I caught that earlier rather than later. That would have been not fun at all. So here's one. It's like these three-piece tiles. That's a new piece over the last several years. Okay, I'm gonna try not to get too quiet, but I do sometimes have to think about what I'm doing on these. A little one by one. These are so tricky. There we go. And then looks like these, hopefully there won't be a whole lot more of this kind of building. So like I say, that does get pretty tedious. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm going to assume this is probably where the doorway to the Daily Bugle comes in. Alright, so believe it or not, we're already on page 20, but that's because there were so many articles about the minifigures and the design at the beginning. So, oh wow, that's kind of a new piece. That's much bigger than your normal round piece like that. Okay, so this, then 3 of these, a couple more pages of this stuff going on. 1, 2, 3. So how many of you guys watching this are like really still into comics? Comics have kind of had a hard time lately, it seems. I've gone back and bought some old Silver Age issues of like Fantastic Four and things, but modern comics just don't really do anything for me. I like the old classic, just, you know, regular superhero storylines, and now they seem to get too involved in the real world, which, you know, there's a place for that, but I kind of like to read comics and watch movies to get away from that kind of stuff for a little while, because it's pretty crazy out there right now. So, and I promise I will never turn this into a political channel, because what you believe is for you and what I believe is for me, and we'll just leave it at that and concentrate on Lego and video production and things that are cool. Let's see here. I'm missing. Oh, there it is. This is probably why I should organize pieces into colors, because I'm probably making this a lot more stressful than it should be. Alright, so we're getting there. It's very detailed. Oh my gosh, here we go. Here we go. The checkered floor. The checkered floor. That's cool though. It's not that's hard to build, it just takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to go ahead and do a row of the white tiles and then go in and fill in the black. And now I'll alternate. This can be fun, but also time consuming. Glad it's not the entire bottom section. There's probably going to be a lot more there once we get into the actual building. This being a skyscraper, I'm sure there are some parts where it's going to be a very repetitive build, but that's okay, because the final product is always worth it. Even that James Bond car I talked about earlier. It's not that wasn't a fun build, it was just, like I said, it was stressful because it used some very unique building techniques to get some of the shapes in the rear windows of the car, and I'm always amazed by Lego's designers to be able to do that stuff. You start building something and you're sitting there thinking, how in the world is this gonna work? And then you put that last piece in and everything takes shape, and you're like, how in the world did they think to do that? So, alright, so that's done. That looks pretty good. I like that. And now we got a few little interesting pieces to build over in this area. That. Two more of these 1x3 tiles. Oh, here's some printed pieces. These are normally stickers, so that's cool that they did a printed piece for that voltage sign. I much prefer printed pieces to stickers because in my experience, if you don't store your Lego, if you take them apart, if you don't store them in like really a good temperature controlled room, those stickers disintegrate over time. They really do. They start peeling off and then they start disintegrating, and to the point where you can't peel them off to reapply because they're pretty much destroyed. Alright, so try to get this to where you can see it all. It's cool. I think for future videos I'm going to mark off a place on the table here where we can see the whole thing. And of course you really don't need to see me building this, but I'm going to leave it there anyway. Alright. Man, I'm telling you, I'm kind of getting tired of the floor. The floor stuff is getting old pretty quick. It's going to look fantastic, but I'm ready to move on to more stuff. I'm ready to get into another bag of minifigures to build those. I was super excited to see a Punisher included in this set, and that really surprised me because that's a pretty violent character. So I'm glad that they added him in. One of my favorite characters. Don't really remember, I think he appeared in the 70s in some Spider-Man issues drawn by John Romita, and but I first really became a aware of him. Well, I knew he was a character, but he had a mini-series in the mid-'80s by Mike Zeck. And man, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. Alright, so there's two 1x8s going here. And then 1x6. 1x1. Another 1x1. And another 1x6. Alright, so let me look at this. So far, looks like everything is done correctly. Man, look at all these green tiles now. Yeah, knew it was coming. So the inside of the Daily Bugle is going to have this really ugly green floor. I say ugly, but yeah, it's going to look cool. All right, we got a plate to put in here. And also another one. Two of these. Alright, so there's obviously something going to be attaching here. This looks like well, it's definitely the entryway. Does this have a spinning door? Can't remember. No, so these are 1x3s are going to go on top of this. Like a little raised section of the floor. Like a good snap. You know what's in there when you hear that snap. But you also know if you didn't put it in the right spot, you're about to have some trouble. And apparently the bag with that tool, I'm surprised I don't put that in the first bag. That tool's come in very handy. That was something we didn't have when I was little. With our Legos, we used our teeth. Many a loose tooth was lost thanks to Lego. This is such a brilliant green. It's like a chroma key green. I could build a green screen wall out of that green and it would be awesome. Maybe I'll do that. Need a good green screen down here in the studio. Alright, so we're getting there. We've still got a few pieces in bag number 1, but we are getting there. Alright. So, my first experience, the first time I really remember getting a Lego set was it was probably the mid to late 70s, and I got a police station, and I remember the minifigures back then they weren't posable. They were single pieces. You had a leg piece, a torso piece with like molded hands and arms, and then no faces. You still had the yellow, head, but no faces printed on them. And the police, I don't even think it had any kind of printing. It might have, but it was just a black torso, legs, yellow head, and a white hat. I do remember there being printed pieces that said police on them for the cars that you built. But that was my first Lego set I remember, and it was awesome. I can't tell you how much I played with that thing. It was great. And then the next Lego set I remember getting is a Lego Space. And Lego Space is still probably my favorite theme of all time. Had quite a few of those sets when I was younger. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 of these. I gotta keep it where we can see it here. 3, and you got 1 by 1 there. 2 studs. So this is probably going to be either walls to attach to the floor or furniture. I'm assuming. We're getting there. We're almost through this first bag. Our first set of bags that are number 1. It's been a fight, but we're about to make it. Aunt May, I'm going to put her right here. She's telling us how great we're doing, and she made us some cookies. All right. Page 30. Page 30. A couple more. I don't know why I call these storm drain pieces. They're like little grills. They're used for all kind of things, and these pieces have been around a long time. I remember building many things that included those pieces over the years. And that is going to line up. So 2 more of those. Yeah, we're going to take a break after this bag. Oh, a little purple piece. Now, I've noticed that, in Lego sets, usually pieces are hidden. They'll make an odd color for some reason to have in there. So, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 of these. I think we're almost at the end of the green. We are, and there's your extra green stud. I'm going to assume that's an extra piece. You always get an extra piece of those. All right, let's see. It's looking good so far. Now we got more of these pieces to put in. So it looks like this is already the back of the building back here, so the actual skyscraper itself is really kind of contained into a small area. It's interesting. Small 1x8s, then another 1x1, and a 1x4. So that's probably going to be the back door going out. And we got, looks like we got a trash can that goes on that stud. And then some Technic pieces that go here. Have the 2 holes. So we'll see what that's going to end up being. And I guess this could just be like broken sidewalk. I like when you have texture in the sidewalks like that. And then there's going to be something here, of course. Alright, so I bet we're about to get to more tile. And we are. So we're going with these up against the building. And 2 out there. Here's this big piece. Turn this for a second. So that goes there. Up. Wrong way. There we go. Then that. And that. And then this piece kind of fits in. Like that. Like that. Yep. Oh, and we have our first sticker. Number 31. So this is a manhole cover. pretty easy sticker to do. It says New York on it. That's cool. And of course, they show it turned a different direction. So I put it on wrong. So let's go. Here we go. All right. Now we're taking this. Oh, so now we've got our printed piece of the electrical. This is going to be electrical box and another printed piece on top. I love these printed pieces too. I love that kind of stuff. All right, and that just goes right there. So, pretty good. You see that over there. All right, on to page 34 with more tile, of course. This is very monotonous, but that's okay, because I know once we get past this, there's going to be a lot of cool parts to build. And I do bet it gets kind of monotonous building the windows and everything. But there is that cool section with the green goblin breaking out the windows, so that's gonna be pretty neat. That'll be worth it. That'll be worth the wait. Alright. Okay. Got a little rat figure. Minifigure rat who's somehow out here with this. Maybe these are boxes or something. Just hanging out. Probably smells Aunt May's cookies up there. So if you're still watching, thanks for hanging in here. May fast forward a little bit of this in the editing process. Don't know if I'll get around to doing any live streams of builds. I may. Like I say, I'm still setting the channel up, and this is the first video I've really tried to make for it. There we go. But it's a lot of fun. Oh, I completely missed a part. Completely skipped a part. A little black fire hydrant. That's interesting. Are fire hydrants black in New York? Because I have never seen a black fire hydrant. They're always red or yellow. All of those little chrome studs. Okay. So that goes right there. That's a cool little. Looks like if you had a one of the fire truck sets that actually could attach a hose to it. So that's cool that they put that on there. Okay. Well, those pages went by pretty quick. So yeah, these are just some couple of boxes that we build here to put in the alleyway. Don't know what is in these boxes, or supposed to be in these boxes. Could be something sinister that a crook has left in the alley, or maybe that's cool. Do a little random positioning of them there. So yeah, so that could be something to find for one of our heroes to find, that one of our villains has left something out there. You know, really, this should have come with a Kingpin. It did not come with a Kingpin figure. It came with Daredevil, so a Kingpin figure would have been really cool. Okay. Where that huge pile of tiles that was over here is now slowly but surely all but gone. Yes, they are. And don't call me Shirley. All right. Little police squad humor there. The show never gets old. There's only 6 episodes of it, and I can watch them over and over and over again. That's what the Naked Gun movies were based on. If you've ever seen those, I recommend, if you have not, to go back and watch Police Squad. Alright, more boxes. Man, a lot of boxes in this alleyway here. Okay, and I'm not sure what's going on with this one. That doesn't make sense. Did I build something wrong? I did build something wrong. I put those on top of each other instead of like that. All right, so many more tiles. Thought we were done. They keep adding them. We're almost done. They threw a lot of these in different directions, kind of tricky. Really busted up sidewalk is what this is turning into, but it's cool. So 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one of these. 2, 3, 4. There we go. And that. That looks like it. So we do get a few more extra pieces here. Oh, look at there. There was one of the tools the whole time. I'm so used to it being orange, didn't notice it. So that gets us through bag number 1. So basically the base of the, here, I want to take the picture in picture off. So the base of the building with all the cracked sidewalk and everything, pretty cool. So I'll see you in the next video as we pick up with page 39 and bag 2 of the Daily Bugle.